shit, but you know. I'm Martina, and this is my Nintendo Switch. Well, it's not actually mine because I already modded all my own console, so I kind of stole it from Hans' dad, but I'm sure he won't mind. I'm sorry. What I want to do is to try to take this and turn it into a Zelda-themed console. Here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna try to turn this into this. You can probably see the outline here of the console itself hidden inside these castle gates, which of course is the gates to Hyrule Castle. My plan is to try to make a painting in the gate here to try to make it look like you're gazing out over an open landscape. Try to make that illusion as believable as possible. So I'm planning to do the entire painting first, and then we can build the castle. And this time I'm gonna be using a paint I haven't tried before, which is golden acrylics. It's supposed to be the smoothest, nicest acrylic paint, and I'm super excited to try it out. Oh. The only prep work I've done is I've extended the top part here a little bit on the Nintendo because it was a bit too short. So now we're ready for painting. First off, let's just pop this out. The first thing I'm gonna do is to take some white and prime the entire surface. It's just a better base to paint on when I'm gonna add some colors because they become brighter and much more saturated. And, oh, so smooth. What I'm thinking is to have Link in the foreground here, probably as a 3D model. I'm gonna start working on the background layer first and then kind of working my way towards the front. Let's get down to business. Dude, this paint is so nice. It's not that much different from my normal acrylics, but it's just different in all the right little ways. It lays more smoothly and more flat on the canvas, and it's definitely more pigmented because I have to use way less paint, and it's also matte. We have some nice little mountains in the background, some cute little clouds, and I think the perspective is looking pretty nice as well. Let's keep painting. The painting is complete. This must be the smallest canvas I've ever worked on. I mean, just look at all the little grass, all the little clouds, it's so small. But I also found it very enjoyable because I could actually spend time on all the little details without having to make it too realistic. It just looks nice because you can't make a little tree smaller than a dot, you know? Now we're done with the 2D, we can start working on the 3D, the castle. Now, as many of you have seen before, I'm gonna use this material called XPS foam to carve out the castle gates. So, my plan is to carve a castle gate directly from this around the whole thing, make some sort of lid that can be pulled up so I can take in and out the Nintendo, and then when I have my main shape down, I'm gonna carve some bricks into it and make it just look fancy. And now, before you go and be like, oh Martina, why don't you do individual bricks? Because it looks so good. You know what I say to individual bricks? Get out of here! So yeah, that's next step, carving. since there's no sponsors on this video, here's an ad for us. Wait, Martina, are you selling yourself? No. First of all, we have the Elven sketchbook. I'm just in love with this design with all the little gold details on the green PU leather. It's got 180 GSM paper, 200 pages, so it can handle acrylics, gouache, markers, pencils. I've mainly used mine for gouache and acrylic paintings, like this one. And also it stays flat when you open it, which, you know, is practical when you're painting. Overall, I'm just in love with this sketchbook, and it seems like you guys like it as well. We had a blue one before, and this is the last batch of the green one, so if you like this design, then make sure to check it out before it runs out. And since it's so hard to find a good looking cutting mat, we decided to make our own. Here it is. It's a self-healing A3 size cutting mat, blue on one side, green on the other, with all the gold details. You can never have enough gold. And then we have the official Sherabagera hoodie. It's super comfy, 100% cotton, and it has all the pockets. Here, here, and here. Perfect pouch for a pet. It also has embroidered logo, custom drawstrings. It also has this collar that you can hide away from the world in. Very nice. And finally, we have a handful of prints left of my final breath painting. These are signed and numbered as with all our other art prints, and they will never be reprinted. So if you're interested in future art print releases, then make sure to sign up for our newsletter so you can get notified. If you think this sounds interesting, then make sure to check out our website down below. I'll leave a link there. If you get anything, then make sure to tag us on Instagram, because I would love to see it. It's always fun to see that our things actually exist out there in the real world. Thanks for listening, and back to the project. Carving is complete. Up here we have this nice cobblestone, then we have the stairs with more large stone bricks, and of course the regular bricks here. And some places I even just left it with no carvings at all, so it just looks like a solid chunk of stone. And I just think it adds more dimension and detail, since everything is gonna be just stone. I've also primed everything with a layer of Mod Podge, which binds everything together because it's a glue, and also it primes it for the paint. I've made this very watered down acrylic mix, so I'm gonna take this and put it on that. Let's go! It looks so much better in gray. So now we can grab some different grays and browns and start painting individual bricks here with some different colors. It's gonna look real funky, but it's gonna be nice, just trust me. So like maybe this one, like that. This is gonna take a while, so let's just speed up. To me, this is like the ugly, funky stage where I just try to not look directly at it, because then I lose faith in the whole thing. As always, just trust the process. It's gonna work out fine, even though it looks like disgusting Skittles at this point. Next step is wash. This is just black paint mixed with a lot of water, because that way it kind of binds all these weird colors together, and also it seeps into the cracks and makes some nice contrast. So now, dab it off. Do you see the difference that makes? Look at the contrast. Oh. We got some nice undertones, but this is still way, way, way too dark. So I'm gonna dry brush a little bit of highlights on this and just bring it back to life, because now it looks kind of dark and sad. Big brush, very little paint on the brush, and then just on the highlights. Job complete. I just want to show you the final steps that I did. I went really heavy with highlights in the front here, because I'm thinking that's where the sun is the most, and it's just darker in these corners as well as around the little archways here. I think I went a bit too dark on this, but if I'm gonna make it lighter, I would have to repaint the whole thing, so I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a nice contrast between this and the background. But guys, we have a missing link. So Hansi 3D printed this little Link figurine that is gonna stand right here in the gate, looking out into the landscape. And we have to paint him. He can't just be like a gray stone statue. So I'm gonna bring forth my tiniest little brushes and we'll try to paint this guy. My eyes are hurting. I've been sitting just squinting like this, trying to look at all the little details. But Link is done. He is now completely colored, looking pretty nice. We have Link, we have our castle. We also have the background. So we essentially have the main elements, but there are still a couple of details I want to make. And one of those is some banners. So we gotta get my sewing machine. Hello, Stacy, nice to see you. There we are. You're coming with me. I found this nice little Christmas curtain on sale, so this is now gonna be our banners. I was hoping to make 4 of them, so we have 2 on the front here and 2 as flags that kind of fly in the wind up here. I am, of course, gonna try to sew them and then paint on like the Hyrule Castle logo with some gold paint. At least that's the plan. It should be simple enough. They're just like this shape, very simple. Just let me set this up. Got our long boy and our short boy templates. So let's try to turn these into actual fabric with my very limited sewing skills. But that's all you need to make tiny banners, luckily. I'm gonna draw these on, try to let them double, and then we go from there. Let's make some banners. Look at this. Does this look like a banner? No, it looks like one of those things they use to detect the wind that goes whoosh. I think I have to just like make a seam along all the sides and that way just like force it flat. Here we go. Oh God, stupid little second time's the charm. Can you move for, oh my God, the thread broke. I guess 3rd time's the charm. Can you move forward, please? All right, nice and easy. All right, we're going. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I'm gonna paint over it. I don't think the seams is gonna be that visible anyway, so that's 1 down. So now we just have 3 more to go. Dude, look at these flags, and I can just do this. Oh. I put some steel wire on the inside before I stitched them up, and now I can post them just as I want. But before I add these to the castle, I have 2 more things I want to do. First of all, add some fire LEDs to the castle, because obviously we need LEDs. And while I work on that, Hans is gonna work on customizing the controllers on the Nintendo Switch itself, just to make them feel more custom, more fitting to this castle. And then we can do the final assembly. Let's go! the last console in the console mod trilogy. First, it was the Xbox, then the PlayStation, and now finally, the Nintendo Switch. I promise this is the last one. And honestly, I think this one is my favorite so far. In many ways, it's the simplest, but also the design is it's just right, you know? I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me know what you think. What's your favorite? Leave it down in the comments. And as always, a huge thank you to our patrons for continuing to support us. If you didn't know, our patrons get access to early and extended versions of all our videos, as well as our extra show called Behind the Forge, where we answer your questions about our projects. And we also do other things like going through our old projects and where they are now. And we recently did this workshop tour and just other things like that. And as a patron, you also get access to special channels on our Discord server, which has just grown to be the most wholesome, sweet community. If you're interested, I will leave a link to our Patreon down below so you can check it out. And finally, thank you so much for being part of our community and watching our videos. And I just want to wish you all a happy Christmas, happy holidays, eat some good food, chill. You deserve it, okay? And now it is time. Let's have a look at the final result.